What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between? Jason, my brother, how you doing? If you know what I mean.
I'm fantastic, man. How you doing?
Good, man. So we have a returning guest, our friend, Mr. Jason Wells.
Yep.
Let's get him on right now. What's up, Jason?
Hey there, guys. How are you? I'm doing great.
Great.
Nice to see you on this side of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's good to be back on here, and on this side where things are starting to roll again, and people are starting to do stuff again and feeling good about it. So yeah,
Right. People are coming to shows. You've been touring like crazy.
been getting around. Yeah, not I used to be gone a lot more, but I'm sure still going a lot of considering everything. And this is the first year that everything's really going, and so it feels great. And we've been to Dallas and Davenport. The Quad Cities area is a huge area for us. We got a lot of fans out there.
Nice.
And I've been going all out to the bike week out at Salty Dog, and so we've had a lot of good stuff going on. We got a lot more coming up. So
I
it's
may have
feeling
gotten
good.
drunk at the Salty Dog, but I will leave that to vague history.
Right.
Now, you also played the Texas Guitar Show.
Yes, yeah, the Dallas International Guitar Festival.
Yeah, that's a big one there.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
With the Category 5 amplifier, thanks to Don Ritter there at Cat 5. But yeah, it was a huge, big convention, and we got to play Saturday at 3:30, which was kind of like the midday. There was kind of like the bands, and then after that, it was kind of more like showcase different things, So we had a good spot for the bands, on Saturday
Right.
on a nice big stage, and met a lot of great people, and still networking from that. And so yeah, got to play with let's see, Kara Granger got up, and she's world traveling guitar player. She got up and played Till I Get Home with the Jason Wells band.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we got Michael Weber up. He's a young guitar slinger from Ohio. He got up and did a song with us. It was knocked it out of the park. So yeah, we had a great time. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I'd love.
Go ahead, Jason.
Eric Johnson. That was pretty awesome.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask you. I'm a big Eric Johnson fan, so yeah, I saw on your social media that you were with him and stuff. So
yeah, he was the nicest guy too. He's real nice.
That's badass. Yeah. And then Orion, did I see a picture with you and Orianthi as well?
Well, that's a funny story. Okay. Okay, that's probably why they made it. I don't know if they let me back in Dallas or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, you notice how I pick the one grain out of Hey, what about that?
I gotta tell you about it now. For all the people who are listening to this, you all know now. But there's a young guitar slinger, awesome guy, Anthony Collins, out of San Diego. Okay, I got to meet him. We hung out. We'll get to him. Long story there, but so we became friends. Well, we were talking about Orianthi, and all, because she was one of the top names on the bill, and and on some of the others. But so we get there, and here's this blonde girl going around, and it was kind of hectic, and she was taking selfies with everyone. And so I posted a couple as she came over and got selfies with us. She even grabbed George's camera, phone, and she was like, "Oh, you don't know how to do it here."
Right.
And so I posted it, and we were all like, "I don't think that's Orianthi, but I don't, but so anyway, I posted it and tagged Orianthi, and my friend Anthony Collins, like a day later, he's like, "Dude, like, laugh out loud faces, smiley faces, like, that's not Orianthi, that's Stacy's, forget her last name, I think it's Stacy." But
shit.
and I was like, oh, okay, no wonder. So I'm new here.
Yeah.
That happens, you know.
Hey, always
I
check
wouldn't have known either. I would, you know.
Hey, always
Yeah.
check Google first, right? You
Yeah,
know?
I know, right? So
Yeah, I
I
thought
took
it was
somebody else.
Orianthi.
I took somebody else's word for it. It was kind of so lesson
Right.
learned. Don't do that.
Double check. Right.
I'm still a nice guy though, everyone in Dallas.
Nice. So
But no, it was a great time. Yeah, Anthony Collins, he's a great guitar player. He's a great. Oh man, he has a great sound. Met him. We're going to try to do some shows with him. We're going to hook up with him in San Diego and try to bring him this way and go that way together and do all kinds of stuff.
right on.
And yeah, so lots of really cool things came out of Dallas, and hopefully get back down to Dallas and do some. We played the Main Street Tavern down there, and it's a really nice little club that they got going on, and we smoked that place and got to meet the owner, and he loved us. So yeah, we got a lot of networking going on. So it was cool.
Yeah,
really
hey man,
cool.
if you make it up Sacramento way, there's a dude who would love to open for you, Mr. Austin Moe.
Okay, yeah,
He
send him
came
my
out
way.
the EP. Yeah, his EP's he's being produced by what's his name, Jason? The guy from
Boston.
From Tesla.
Oh, well, Frank, Frank Hannon, did his
Yeah,
but he's working with a different producer out of Boston right now, but
right, but his following stuff is
yeah.
And he plays with Jared James Nichols a lot, you know.
Yeah, those guys. I'm close. The circles that I've talked to are closely connected to all those guys, but haven't quite met them or ran into them yet.
Yeah, that's why I said it would kind of make sense because you're kind of,
Yeah.
I was hoping to see Frank down at Dallas, but it seems like he's usually at the Guitar Fest, but I didn't see him this year.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so this weekend you're doing a July 2nd. What's going on there? You're doing is this? Oh,
yeah, this is gonna be that's a nice resort down in Lake Monroe, Indiana, and this is their big 4th of July party. So they wanted a band, so they got the Jason Wells band. So we're gonna rock the whole place, and it's right on the lake. There's all kinds of big boats out there, and then there's probably gonna be boats out there, maybe partying and shooting off fireworks or who knows. So it sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Well, that's a great
down. It's Four Winds a resort on Lake Monroe. So this Sunday 2nd.
Right on. Yeah, so you can see those tour dates, and you can also buy merch at jasonwellsmusic.com.
Yeah.
And Paul, my buddy Paul, who I've been best friends with since 7th grade, he's finally coming in this week. So we're gonna come see you. You're doing in Lafayette. You're doing a blues fest.
Oh yeah, July 22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
You guys are going to come down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I got family in Indiana and Lafayette right around the area too, so we might show up at the
Sweet.
But, definitely
Oh man, that just became pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll hang out after the show or whatever, and figure it's early enough to get back to Illinois in a decent time, as we're getting older. Like, great, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, man. So we can see the show, grab a bite, hang out, and then be back at a normal time.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, man. You'll love it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, Paul's been dying to see you live, man. Ever since I posted the first video, he's all he digs your band big time.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's just down in the street. Just down in the street. They'll have the street closed off, I believe, and just it's nice. It'd be a nice little.
Yeah, and you're playing Lafayette. I think 3 or 4 different places over the next month or so.
Possibly. I can't even remember. I know I probably am. Well, yeah, I got.
Okay, people always think that musicians, when they do this, they're like playing it. No. Like, people are busy, and like it's just a blur. All you know is you got to be on stage at 8 o'clock or whatever it is.
Right.
I mean,
it gets to where I just need to know. Okay, 8 o'clock. All right. The date and the time. Okay.
Right.
Got it. I'll be there.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're playing Lafayette on the 12th at TA's River Brewery, on the 22nd at Lafayette's Blues Festival, and then to Logansport at the Record Farm, and then Slippery Noodle on the 19th in Indy.
Slippery Noodle.
And then Bloomington at the Four Winds Resort on August 20th. And then, it looks like you already got a nice schedule growing up for the rest of the year beyond that.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. You're right. I know, and I got some more to add to it. Actually, I've been busy doing that, but I got a few more to add to it. Some pretty cool shows.
You got some nice energy coming up behind you.
Yeah, man, it just, it's been awesome. It's been a heck of a ride, and I've learned a lot, and I've did everything the hard way for way too long.
Is there any other?
Right. And I don't know that I'm doing it the easy way now, but at least I learned how to enjoy the hard way a little bit better.
Right, like like me and Jace were like pounding our heads across, against the wall, and then all of a sudden we start doing like reaction videos, and boom, now we're monetized, and I've got we got meetings with major sponsors from like music instrument lines.
Oh, sweet.
A whole bunch of other shit's going on. So all of a sudden it's like, like what did we do? Nothing we weren't doing before.
Right. Yeah.
It's persistence, right? Persistence. Just keep going.
Persistence, stupidity, and the willing to do it.
Right.
Right. And because what is that? Normal people give up. You got to have a little bit of crazy in it to keep on going. So
just keep showing up,
Right.
Just keep going. So, I feel like I've got a whole new appreciation after everything, kind of coming out of all of that, just a whole new appreciation. And it's like all the things that I was doing seems a lot more clear now, like, a lot more focused on, the purpose of the band and the purpose of our set, and it's like all the reasons why I wrote those songs. It's like it has all that meaning plus so much more that applies even now still.
Right.
And I find myself, what's really awesome, and I'm even more comfortable doing that, is even putting more passion and guts behind those songs when I'm performing it, just because I feel like people are receiving it, even better as well.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see the further away from it, you see the wisdom in your own work.
Yeah. And it was hard, but now I get to sing it with even more passion,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and then the response from the shows and the shows we're getting, I'm thankful. I'm thankful I didn't give up. I'm just thankful, kept on going, and no matter what it is, it's you make it works. It works out if you keep on going like that. And I'm just thankful to my friends and my fans, and
Right. And what's really funny? Like, think about how many times people have come up to you and go, "No, you're doing it wrong."
Oh my gosh.
So like, without ever like listening, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So one of my good friends goes up to me. He's like, "Okay, you need to drop the swearing and not be this." And I'm like, "You mean you don't want me to be myself on my own show? Like, that's who I am. Take it or leave it."
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not here to do anyone harm. We're actually here to help.
Yeah.
But I'm a smart ass, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's how I'm going to speak. And I don't mean anyone to any harm maliciously.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
That's interesting on that point. It's like I started out to be, to like go out, musician, express yourself, be yourself. But also my whole thing was to like wake people up in a way to like let them know that they can do their thing too. Whether it's music. If it's music, you can play your songs and your music, and we can all help each other. But if you got a woodcraft hobby or whatever, like do it. Like feel good about it. Like people were like writing that stuff off and like, oh, let's go do this, or let's go, you know. It's so like that was all part of my career, but like my mindset, I guess, my passion, you know. And but like everybody still was like telling me how to do my thing. I'm like, no, you do your thing.
Right. Just because you don't get it, you know, they just don't get it. That's what I've, you know, if you don't get it, you don't get it. Other people do, and that's all right. But you know,
but it gets hard. It gets hard because, especially around here, you know, people didn't understand what the heck I was doing. So everybody had an opinion. And
I tell Jason all the time when we're discussing stuff, I'm like, hey man, that wasn't made like Nicki Minaj or whatever her name is. That stuff's not made for me and Jason or you. Yeah, it's made for the younger kid. You know, that's fine. It's just not our thing. It's not made for us. So why should we? You know, people are like, oh, well, you know, we cover music, but we don't talk shit about anyone's music because that's their art. That's personal.
Right.
And just because I may not like that type of music, I'm not going to disparage them. No. So we're only going to put things on that we like and can be positive because there's way too much negativity on the internet.
Oh yeah, we can be way more. Yeah, we can find more things to be positive about than might sit around being negative about stuff.
Right. Like we've covered someone who has 477 million views and someone who's got 12.
Right.
Or 3. Or it was the second one. As long as it's good.
Yeah.
You know, we're not here to you know, whore for subscriber. Well, sometimes. But I mean, that's not our thing. We want to cover good music. Hey, this is what we found. Check it out.
Right. Oh,
that's all it is. You know what I mean? It's like hanging out at a record store back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's the best. And that's how I grew up. I mean, driving around with my dad. That's my dad and I spent a lot of time together, riding around, going to he'd go to all the record stores and buy up all those albums. You know, and had thousands of records. So yeah, that's my kind of my childhood.
Nice.
Oh, hold on. Let's put up the Jason Wells background to match his background. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Right. You know, there was nothing more exciting, you know, because you know 45s didn't come with liner notes, and usually it was in a white sleeve when out, you know,
right.
And just putting, you know, you had a stack of 645s. You know, and would the record player hold it depending if you're at your house or there's the shitty portable in the garage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But more this year, more vinyl was sold than CDs.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, it's back.
It's awesome. You know what I'm telling people? It's like, think about it. CDs, I mean, still people, I still have a few CDs left and people still buy them a little bit, but it's like CDs aren't in, CD players aren't in cars really anymore. They got all the MP3 stuff. At home, everybody's buying vinyl now. So they're not like buying new CDs on a regular basis to keep their music flow going. They're buying vinyl now.
Dude,
not last month for their car anymore. So
last month I go to my buddy. We're gonna go take a trip up to Ann Arbor, Michigan for just quick, go get something and come back, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. So I get to his house early in the morning. I got her coffees and stuff. And I'm like, you got a CD player in your car, right? He's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So he looked around, like looking. We're like, what? Nope, no player. You know. I'm like, boy, did that happen fast?
Yeah,
right. It's all Bluetooth or USB or whatever.
Yeah, it was weird.
Screens connect. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't bring my 8 tracks. You know.
I know, right? Like you all made us buy the CDs.
You know those are going to come back in some way. You know that's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
You know, that's the only thing they haven't, because cassettes are back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah. I don't know, like 8-track, unless they're kind of like some kind of new updated version of 8-track or something, because there was some issues. You had to stick a penny or something in there. You know, you know. So maybe if they updated or whatever, but. Like cassettes, they're not really updating cassettes, and they're not updating vinyl much. They're just coming back. But, you know, I'm just ticked off that y'all made us buy CDs, and now they're just like, skipping right over just,
Yeah.
okay, I don't need them. Okay, well, we
Yeah.
could just
Thousands and
vinyl the
thousands
whole
of
time,
dollars.
Yeah. A few
Yeah.
weeks ago, we were talking about like how they had to write for 8-track.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you have so much time, okay, we have to make this song
Yeah.
do this, or it's a prelude,
Yeah.
or it's
Yeah.
the
Or-
second 2-parter songs, or
Yeah, or wouldn't they have like the second half on the other side or something? You have to push the button and kick back in.
clunk. Ah, it's the best song too. Clunk.
I love that sound though. I loved how clunky like it was when you hit the button, you know?
Oh yeah.
And like I remember my father had like a 70 or 71 Torino GT, you know? And
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
the first music I remember was like the Eagles' greatest hits on 8-track. And I remember the 8-tracks when they would sit in the sun, like the label on them would be all like crinkly and everything, you know?
Right.
It was-
Yeah.
I was always like, man, I don't want to play the brown fucking 8-track. Why do they have it brown? All the other ones are blue or tan, or like the brown
Right.
one. And then they
Who
usually
has
have
a
like
brown
coffee
8-track?
stains or beer stains on it,
Why would a band put out a brown 8-track?
Right.
Hey, brown was hot in the 70s. I mean, brown and green, you know?
Yeah, it's like the what do you call it? It's like where rubbing alcohol comes in, that brown,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
hydrogen
Right.
peroxide
That's it.
bottle.
Yeah.
Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like brown, orange, and green. They were the hot colors of the 70s.
Yeah.
man.
Remember Bactine? Oh, here, have some kerosene for your cut.
Yeah, you just scream when they put it on you, you know?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't burn. Yes, it does.
These kids don't know the struggles we had, man.
Oh my.
No, they don't.
I was watching it was the history of like band toys, and they were talking about jarts.
Jars.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, and
Yeah,
the
Blade was like this big, you could kill somebody.
comedian
yeah.
lady
Yeah.
talking about it. It's like, okay, well, here's the rules. Here's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Take 25 paces and then stand behind it, and then throw to the other side. Everyone's like, no, we like stood in a
In
cluster.
a circle, throw it up in the air and run,
Right.
and hope nobody died.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So one kid did, and then they had to,
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's a horrible idea. I mean, them things
Oh, yeah.
coming down and just
Oh,
golly.
the spike was like 8 inches long on those things.
Yeah.
After you're done building your nuclear reactor with your science kit, or making some massive poison, you could go play jarts, and after that, do horseshoes, and
Yeah.
hide behind the DDT truck with your bicycle. Ching ching.
Oh, yeah. But you got to be home but be home when the streetlights come on or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, we
Yeah.
couldn't see him through the DDT fog from the back of the truck.
Right.
Ching ching.
I remember my cousin and I, like, we got bow and arrows, and we like the target got boring, so we decided we were going to try to shoot each other with like bows and arrows.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're just
yeah.
talking about that. Like,
Yeah, we were an archer
shooting
family,
each
so we
other,
had
rubbing
those.
handles, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Baby gun.
So not only did we do jarts, we also did arrows.
Up in the air. Yeah.
Up in the
Oh
air.
yeah.
Totally stupid.
Oh
Yeah. So,
You know.
those darts, when you get it flinging just right, you can throw it straight up in the air, and it just where it just disappears. You can just stand there and watch it disappear.
Right.
Like really good idea, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then you could see the fin strategically.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh my God, the things we used to play with,
We're still here. We're still here though.
Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna go down and throw rocks at the cars at the busy street. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that. A teacher, one of the teachers at the school saw me do it. Yeah, she came out and yelled at me.
Oh, and we got caught throwing mud balls at cars. Like,
Yeah.
we're 2 yards in, so we're throwing them over the tree line and stuff. And
Yeah. I had like little walnut shells, like little pieces of walnut shells or something. I forget what it was.
so you hear this wham.
Yeah. And
I like do the whole 45 around backyards, across creeks, around the YMCA, back by the pond, through the swamp.
Yeah.
Get home, and my buddy had already narked on me, and the cops are waiting for me at the at the house.
Yeah.
And then I went and looked to get where he was at, because what had happened was this lady was of the larger persuasion and tackled his ass, and you could literally see the imprint of him in the dirt from like
Nice.
yeah, that was
my. Oh my.
I'm like, dude, you narked and you brought him to my house. You could have made up a name.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. You told him everything?
Right. I'm like, come on, man. But yeah.
Oh my.
You
I
know,
guess he
all
wasn't
our
taking
stuff was,
I guess
you
he
know,
wasn't taking a tackling for you.
yeah, at least I wasn't like my cousins. What they would do back in the day is so we lived right at the edge of like country, like it was the first apartment, like 4 apartment buildings had 6 apartments each, but on the other side of it was country.
Yeah.
You know. And so there was a 7-Eleven right there. And one thing that they would do is find like junky lawnmowers, put them on the top of the 7-Eleven, fill up the gas tank, start it, and jump down, and it would drive the owner crazy. Like, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then what they do is they have 2 shopping carts.
Oh my gosh.
And rope across the yard, across the street. So people would be cruising, like, you know, wasted, coming home on a Saturday night, whatever.
Oh.
Boom, hit it, and then shopping carts.
Both sides of the car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're major delinquents. But this is back when cars were built like tanks, too.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
So they probably just bounced off and probably dented the crap out of the carts.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh golly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
First time I was chased by the police was with them. I was 4 years old on the back of a motorcycle, and my cousin had a broken leg and a cast up to his thigh.
Riding a motorcycle.
Leg. So that's where I get my humor from, I guess.
Yeah.
Always fun. It was never to be malicious, but
yeah,
right.
You know, some things are just stupid.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I feel sorry for the kids growing up today. You know, I mean,
they
really don't have it anyway.
You can't get away with anything anymore.
No, they don't understand any of that. They don't understand.
Right? Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. There's a good group of kids that are pretty good kids, even given that. But yeah.
But yeah, it's just different. The things that
yeah, generational stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I tell them sometimes. I'm telling like my kids like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and this and that, and they're just like, what? Like, well, it's like, well, I guess you're right. It was like I guess that's how I was raised, but
right.
Guess we could all just
right
here.
Right. And is that Jason Wells coffee you're drinking there?
No, this is just water here. I've been drinking coffee all day, though. I've been drinking Jason Wells coffee all day.
Nice.
So I better have some water.
Can you still get it that online, or is it store only yet?
You can still get it for right now. I'm probably I was thinking before. I was thinking about the end of June, but probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to get another. Yeah, probably right after the holidays. Get to the coffee and get that all wrapped up. So
yeah,
right on.
Yeah, and I got a couple stores, IGA, and I'm going to work on. I had it in Lafayette there. I'm going to get back in over there and some other places. There's another place here in town, and I'm just going to start networking that a little more and talking to where my fans are and some of the local markets and stores in those areas, and start working that. And because the biggest reason why is it takes a lot of it was taking a lot of time to keep up the shipping and then the shipping cost just made it almost impossible, not worth people to order it. So but I think this will probably work better in the long run anyway. Keeps it going. We got a couple places that serve it. They buy it by the bulk and they serve it.
Nice.
Bar at the Frankfurt Library. They've got our town has for a small little town, we have a really big library, and they got a theater. They have like the library teen section, and then they got a coffee bar downstairs. And when I first started playing music for a living, that was one of the little places I would kind of, do little gigs with. And so now they strictly serve the Jason Wells coffee, Jason Wells band. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. There's a podcast that you should check out and try to get on. It's called Chords and Coffee.
Oh yeah.
So it's guitar and coffee.
Well, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Sign me up.
So check this out. Someone I've been working with and helping advise. Here you see First Steps. I just got this. First Steps with their new leg.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
82 years old, a retired firefighter, fire chief.
Yeah.
And that's his first steps on his new leg right there.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's an honor to be involved in that.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
they're so advanced now.
I bet.
You know, a lot of people that I take to and from surgery during the week or have prosthetics, and you'd never know anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, the technology is amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
But
part of the proceeds of my coffee goes, speaking of the coffee and kind of that kind of stuff, is I'm part of the proceeds of my coffee goes back to the next generation of students. I find all different ways to give back. I'll give to some lessons here, maybe sponsor some kids with lessons. Or there was a community up north of here that it was a community group that just had a really awesome place for kids to come, and they were helping with their homework, and then they created this and that, and they had movie nights and all this. So they had a music room. So some of the coffee money donated to that, and some people donated some gear as well through that. And so then they had a music room with guitars and keyboard and amplifiers and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so I try to do different things like that with the coffee anyway. So
that's awesome.
Right on. Right on. Hopefully, depending on what happens by next week, I might be able to assist in lessons for certain things via whatever happens. I can't really talk too much about it, but there might be something to totally benefit the program, what you do there.
Yeah, awesome.
In that regard. So
yeah, awesome.
All right, so let's talk about Music Matters Festival. What's going on here?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yes, that is going to be awesome. Please come to that if you can. All right. And tell everyone just to come. Okay, so I'll set the scenario a little bit. It's Darlington Conservation Club, so it's like 12 acres. They've got a lot of woods. You guys still there? I can't see you there. All right.
Oh yeah.
They got a woods, and they got a nice pond. And they have this big open grassy field where we have the stage. And so we've got some great bands on there. Smoking Section, Relics, Village Talk, and then there's another one right above that. And then Mike Milligan. And I think I forgot one.
The Randys, Lauren Grace.
Yes, the Randys. They're good friends of ours. They're from Illinois somewhere.
All right.
And kind of south. And but we met them up here. It's a funny story. They were playing in Lafayette during one of the street festivals called the Mosey downtown, and everyone in Lafayette was at this. It was packed. It was a beautiful night. So all the music scene, everyone was there. It was one of those really awesome Moseys where at the time every band excuse me, or a musician that was playing at that Mosey, I had somehow I don't know, was involved with or helped or or was at least friends with or something. They were all really closely connected. And so the Jason Wells band closed out the night. And so the Randys were from out of town band, and they're playing downtown to nobody. And so they're about ready to hey, you know what? They're thinking, hey, let's just go home, you guys. Let's just take whatever we can and get out of here. Right. And so the Mosey ended. This is 11:30 now. and so they're bummed out, you know, doubting their life and everything. So everyone after our show, our band, and like everyone there, all of our fans, like so many people, I still got pictures of just like we all went down and just it was just shoulder to shoulder in that place, and we all just kept coming in. It's not that big, you know. We're all just and so they're just like. Okay, and they played their butts off, man. We had a great time. Everybody was dancing, so they hit it off really good with all of us here over in this area. So we loved it. I love to tell that story. So
that's hilarious.
I'm happy to have them and at the Music Matters Festival. So
nice,
right on.
That's the Randys there. And of course, Mike Milligan. He's a phenomenal blues player. Played with Double Trouble and. He does like the goes down to Nashville, does the tribute to Stevie with Double Trouble and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He's phenomenal.
So so this Music Matters Festival, is this a kind of a charity event?
So yeah, this just kind of a lot of big big idea that we had back in the day, and so now it's 8 years going, and so. Basically, we had this open mic thing going. I was hosting open mics there for a long time. We created this really strong scene, and lots of bands were coming out of it. And then it was just like now everybody's getting more gigs, and so we're like, hey, every Tuesday it just like got bigger and bigger. I mean, people are on the streets. It was pretty cool, and so we're like, hey. I've always wanted to do a music festival. I said, hey, I got this place out here. My dad used to do a music festival just to promote the club and everything because it's a really neat grounds. And so my dad had passed away, and then 2011, and then kind of the club tried it and for a couple of years, and then I was like, hey, let's take all of this and do that out there and we'll kind of revamp it, give it a new name. And so that's where the Music Matters Festival came from. And it was really just to carry on an extension of all that we were doing, is where all the bands were really helping each other, really working together, really supporting each other. And then, so we took it out there, and it was kind of like a family reunion. You know, it was like all the bands, we finally got to we didn't have to go home, you know, and it wasn't right. It was like, oh yeah, you know, and then we had new people, you know, we'd bring in like, so what I'd like to do with the Music Matters Festival was I would always try to bring in the bands that like do original stuff or doing something, not just, there's a lot of really good bands out there, but this has a little, and so like we'd try to have some of the young bands, like younger kid bands, or you know, some different variations, all kinds of genres. Everybody has a little different level in their career, you know. We try to have a good mix to come out there, and because here's where all of that comes from. It's even a bigger picture. It's because what's happened I feel like is lost touch with everything. People lost touch with themselves. Families lost touch with their kids.
Right.
Bands lost, you know, touch with their fans, and the more successful bands, the big bands lost touch with, or the big whatever relative scope.
Right. Their musical community,
with helping the younger people come up and understand what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the Music Matters Festival was really an extension of just all of that. And so we also had like workshops, and like we had some little like mandolin workshops, and people were teaching. And so we had like a instrument petting zoo where kids can try out all kinds of different instruments.
Nice.
Right on.
The booth for that, and like all the kids, man, they just sit there, and you could just see the moms loved it, and I loved it, just to see them how happy, and the kids were.
Yeah.
Just moments like that are moments where like that kid's like that kid, and that memories is a big memory for that kid. I mean,
right.
here's all this music and it's loud. They're not going to forget all the bright colors. And then they got to bang on this thing and do the thing, and they got to do it too.
Yep.
And just make those connections. And it's a good thing. It's put smiles on people's faces.
Yeah, I love that instrument petting zoo. That's like perfect, you know.
Yeah. There was an organization in Lafayette that had that going. TAF, Tippecanoe Arts Federation. They do a lot for the community. They do a lot for the arts. My son actually is a producer in a studio in that building, Rec Room Studios.
Right on.
So, but yeah, they have that. They have that. I thought that was awesome. So, but so this year is a little different because COVID just knocked the wind out of it. Obviously,
right.
We kept it going, and I wasn't going to do it this year. Okay, up until 2 weeks ago. All right. I was like, man, I just can't. I mean, I got so much going on, and I got
right, but it kind of fell in your lap, and you had to do it.
Yeah, and so everybody was like, "Oh, what do you mean? No, we got to. Okay, well, hey, we can do this." And I'm like, "No, man, we got to do it." And I'm like,
"Yeah," because I was watching it on social media when it's, I'm like, "Uh-oh, here he goes," And I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to come on the show and promote that?"
Yeah. So I was like, "Okay, you guys, for real, let's do it." And so then they're all like helping me out.
Nice.
And Mike Milligan made that poster. Parker at Don's Guitars. He's helping with getting all the bands organized and keeping all that, kind of the stage manager. And and we got some gals that Mariah and some other gals that help with so many things, to getting volunteers. And so this year we're doing a little different. It's normally all weekend, but we're only going to do Saturday and Sunday. So it's overnight camping. And we would do tickets before and everything, but this year, no tickets, just asked for a free will donation at the gate. Was whatever you want to give. I don't care if a penny, nothing. We're not going to turn you down. We're not even going to judge you if you just come in, because we don't know if you come in 6 times or not, or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
So just come on in and
have a good time.
Donation at the gate, and we just hope,
because there's going to be people walking through there that are in desperate need of live music.
Yeah.
They need it to feed their soul.
Yes,
literally.
And I'm not right there. It's like, this has always been such a healing weekend for people. I mean, literally, I could tell you stories I could brings me to tears, because literally people honestly like come out there and it's so relaxing and peaceful. Just people being people and helping each other and just have a good time. And it's not, there's adulting going on. It's not about that. It's not about how crazy it is. There's that
getting together and having fun, man, enjoying it.
Yes. And just people are just genuinely cutting loose and enjoying music. And when the stage is done, there's always music going on. You got people picking out in the woods, and then when the stage is done, people are literally playing music by a certain camp. We set precedence the first year. Now it's like every year till the sun comes up, there's people sitting around playing music.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You go to bed and wake up to music being played.
Nice.
It's so relaxing. It's unbelievable.
And I love.
People say that they just have the time of their life out there. I mean, I believe them. They're like, because and they sincere about it, and it's really awesome time.
And I love the donation thing too, because you might have the one guy who's he's a little short. He's short on cash. He wants to have a good time. And the next guy might be able to throw a couple $100 in the bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
So it comes out in the wash.
Yes. Yeah. And
totally.
And then those guys that came in that couldn't give very much, you change their lives so much. They go out and do wonderful things, and they give back even more than what they could ever give a dollar amount. And that's the beauty of life. And really all that's wrapped up in that festival. Just
awesome. I love it.
And I really have high hopes to be able to take that and tour with it, do a Music Matters tour, like legitimate.
Oh, that would be awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
I got a lot of plans.
Then you'd need an MC.
I need an MC.
Travel with you.
I do. I mean,
coffee drink buddy. Hell, I'd
paid,
even drive out for August 5th if I could say, ladies and gentlemen, the Jason Wells
you're hired. You're hired.
Right on,
so,
man. That's
so I gotta tell you something though. You're talking like that. My wife, when I talk, my wife goes, "Well, now, honey. Well, now, hey, well, now, so I have to warn her. Like, no,
here's the thing.
I'm not actually going to do it just yet. Don't have to worry."
Here's the thing that people need to understand. When people think big, people get weirded out about it. But here's the thing. The reality is, if you're doing something small, and if you're doing it right, it doesn't matter how big it is because you're going to do the same amount of work.
Yeah.
So,
right.
No.
Don't limit yourself.
Exactly. And the way I see it like this is like you take the Music Matters. Now we're doing a tour. You just take that small thing and put it up here now, and that reaches bigger. You know,
right? And then you can go region by region, and there's a bunch of jam bands, and you focus on their community.
Exactly.
You involve theirs, and there's a meld.
My focus has always been on especially on the tour, and how serious are you? Because I want to take this and incorporate, like, go to other areas, incorporate local the local bands, the young kids in that area, the local store,
right,
and then also bring in some names, and like some Anthony Collins and some Michael Webers, and some, bring it, grow that as well, and you know.
Well, you know, that's a great idea too. And I know, like, you know, for instance, Malden is a town right, near me. They have a little cultural center, and they've started doing like a little, like a blues thing. They'll have bands in the summertime. It's outdoor.
Right,
They just had Albert Collins was there.
Yeah.
And, you might even be able to, like, contact different, towns and communities where they might have that same type of thing going on, right?
Right. And I'm in talks with someone who maybe be a supplier of certain items that the local kids could play and maybe even be given away. So there's a lot of room for.
My biggest problem is I got this going, the Music Matters Festival. It's building, and now it's here soon. I want to build a team of people that can actually make it a Music Matters tour and do it right. Do it upright.
Absolutely. You do a documentary at the same time, so you can do that. You sell that. You do online content. People can subscribe. You sell shirts and merch to pay for it. Get people involved.
Yes. And it's there, and I got enough network to get it, at least a pilot run, and we'll see how awesome it works, and we won't be able to stop.
Yeah, like, let's say you get someone like Joe Bonamassa.
Yes,
that would be the perfect plug and play guy. He's his own entity. He's not, and he's all about sharing and he's there's a lot of people out there like that. A lot of musicians that are older, like, people go, "Oh, if you won the lottery, what would you do?" I said, "I'd buy about 20 acres, get a couple of houses on there, build a 40 pole barn so I could do all my production shit, and then give all the rest of the money away to local art and music programs for kids."
Yeah.
Because I was having a conversation, and Chicago is a violent city, so I talked to a lot of grandparents and uncles and all this stuff of the stuff happening. And I'm like, I was starting to think about the violence issue just across the land, and things that happen in schools that I don't really want to give attention to, but we know that they happen. Well, you know what that kind of started along with? When you got rid of shop class, when you got rid of art and music. So now all the kids who had problems at home that they couldn't verbally explain would express that through building a table, writing a song, singing, acting and drama, whatever it is. All that away. Now they don't have that outlet for that stress.
Yeah.
Because music is the greatest healer.
Yeah.
And
No,
you're exactly right. It's been a big problem, and that's part of the reason why we had to homeschool. We've homeschooled all this way, and that's also why I wanted to create the things like the Music Matters, because also that combined with the music, the way the music was going, it was like, we lost that just natural enjoyment of music. It had to be labeled as like
this or that.
Or something. And it's like, wait a minute. And
Yeah,
then
because when we were kids, top 40 or popular music, it would be Strangers in the Night, and then it would be Deep Purple,
right,
and then it would be Sweet, and then it would be Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you didn't need to classify it like that.
Yeah. And that and all that, and then the kids don't know where they can get gigs. Everybody's talking about gigs and playing music, but they don't know
where to do it.
They can't do anything until they're 21 because there's no anything. It's like, all kinds of stuff like that. And but that's really just kind of dissolved into now, like, there's a lot more all ages, there's a lot more amphitheaters, there's a lot more festivals, there's a lot more opportunities. And so, there's
a lot more smaller stages.
For opportunities for those people to get their chops and learn what they got to learn and go through the hard things. And
for sure.
Well, and even speaking of that, Jason, like, somebody like yourself who's, seasoned in touring and doing that, even just to mentor the up and coming young guys, to teach them those things, the ins and outs of, gigging and all that,
Yeah. Because if you don't, sheesh, you go out there, lose yourself, you die. I mean, my gosh, you don't do that. And it's hard enough, the kids, that they just got to have that. And I'm just thankful that like, it's kind of transformed a lot and throughout really the country, especially after COVID era. And, but also that's kind of what the festival is about. It's what I'm about, that's what my coffee gets back to. And I'm always like trying to get, kids up and do something with my band with me or something, it's like, man, you just got to make it, make it real, and pass that on, because, that's what's important to me anyway, because I remember being young and not being that kid, not knowing anything, not knowing who to talk to, where to play and get a gig.
You just need that one person to take you seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. Like, okay.
People have so many questions, and people ask a lot of wrong questions too, just because they're confused on how everything's supposed to work, and
and there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you don't ask, you don't know, or you won't know. And that's that's always been important. That's what I tell people in production, in music. Hey, you don't, or film. It's okay to ask the questions. It's not stupid.
Right. Yeah, but you can tell by the way people ask, they just don't know what, they're not sure how to do it. They're not sure where to look or how to do this. They've been told so many things by music industry things and this and that. It's like, at the end of the day, you just got to go out and play music and enjoy it.
Just like a lot of people are like, hey, you can read talkbacks on bands pages. Like, hey, why don't you play in this town? How come you're not playing this city or this country? Well, you have to be asked to play there.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not like, sure, I would love to play Spain, but they got to ask me first,
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people just don't know
there. Cool.
Right. Just like, a buddy of mine who owns the blues club right around the corner, Johnny's Blitz. He can't necessarily call people, but they can call him. His name's Johnny at Johnny's Blitz in Westmont, Illinois, to book their band at his facility. And he's in the same, like group of people that, Buddy Guy's Legends. If you play there, you'll play here. And the last Tuesday of every month, he has Buddy's harmonica player come in and he's got a backing band strictly for harmonicas, and the Midwest harmonica players descend.
Oh yeah.
So there's like between 20 and 60 harmonica players waiting to go jam.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's really, really cool. But
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy guy's son Greg was there not a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I played up at Legends a couple times.
Yeah, he runs Legends as well, but he's playing with Buddy on his last tour.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I just talked. I called Mark up there. I think Mark plays guitar for Buddy.
Okay.
I think he's the one I was talking to before about playing. I was just gonna see about trying to get back up there in the near future or next year or something else. It's been a minute. So,
right.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you're out here, you might as well do 2 or 3 shows, I'll talk to Johnny and then you can contact.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah. Muddy's son plays here. I mean, it's part of the blue, it's basically the best suburban blues band, blues bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go to the city.
Yeah. So. We need to come through there if they'll have us.
Yeah. And, we're in talks to maybe do Blues Days Tuesdays live from that, from his blues bar. So there's things in the works, but really cool guy, interesting character. He's from Sardinia, little island off of Italy. Total character, man. Oh my god.
Yeah,
very funny.
That's very cool.
Yeah, So we have a lot of small venues for people to play. The larger venues, from what I'm hearing, they don't have the support. They don't have the tour support. The buses aren't there. The trucks aren't there. The music business, luckily, a lot of people are retiring. And I think that's also part of the problem too. You have all the old guys, no offense to any of them, but they're all trying to cash out for the retirement money. But all the younger bands beneath them for 3 generations are also vying for that same stage time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, that's what I'm saying. There was a disconnect there, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But
because a lot of guys retired.
Yeah,
from being crew guys.
They're past. There's a disconnect there between those stadium kind of those really big, amphitheaters, to bringing up new bands, in a way. I mean, they did, but it was kind of not for the right reasons, the right way, for a while.
Yeah.
And now a fly just appeared here. Literally, a fly just appeared. So you surfed your fly away and sent it,
to Illinois,
to Chicago. Yeah,
it went that way from my phone. It's behind my camera.
What the hell? Yeah.
There's a portal.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
If you see a fly, if you see it disappear here in a minute, then
it's just got to go to Jason next.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a disconnect there, and so they're retired, and then there's just not it's going to be something new, and you know what it's going to be? It's going to be whatever we make it.
Right. It's I'm thinking it's going to turn into a regional thing. One day travel and back. And that's the way people are going to be able to make money.
Yeah, well, it could be that. It could be all kinds of things. I think a lot of people are going to do that. There's people, there's probably people living in an RV, more and more making more money traveling and just playing music. There's probably going to be people that go play here for 6 months and go over here and play. It could be all kinds of things. But I really think that there's new systems and a new kind of culture with music coming up, and it definitely is more local in each area, but it's only in each area. So, like, it's what I'm seeing. It's like they're gathering better, more local.
Right. It's like going back to the 60s or 70s when you had your huge regional bands. Bob Seger.
Yeah.
Huge in Florida, even though he's from Detroit. Huge in Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, that area. He was the master of that
Yeah, because when you went down there, they're going to remember you better. They're going to know you better. They're going to show up and congregate better because they want it now, and it's more local. They're not going to all be scattering and doing 100 million gazillion different things. And
and for the most part, people don't know this, but musicians don't really live high on the hog.
No.
Yeah.
You know, they can live pretty sparingly because they're doing what they love as long as they have their equipment. You know, I don't have a high overhead, and I don't need a lot to replace that from other things to do this full time. So, you know, and that's the important thing is I don't need to be flashy in that. As long as I'm doing what I love doing, who cares?
Well, you know, here's another thing too. I mean, I know, you know, we're all, I guess, you know, around the same age, close to the same age. I mean, when we were young, you could go to like major arena shows. I mean, you could go to a ton of shows. It was cheap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm lucky.
I was working part-time at Kmart going to 4 shows a month because the tickets were $17.
Yeah. I remember when they were like $8 and $10 for like, you know, major tour arena shows. Yeah. Well, now I'm lucky if I can go to a big show every couple years. You know, I mean, you're talking, you know, couple $200-$300 for a night out.
Yeah, what'd you pay for your Eagles tickets?
Oh, $660 for me and my son to go. Yeah.
That's
so my point is that, you know, I think like you said, you know, with the local shows, I mean, people still love live music and they want a night out. I mean, and that's going to be the avenue, you know, because you can't
and a lot of people say that the internet ruined the music business. No, you know what ruined the music business? The music business.
Yeah.
That's what ruined the music business.
It's still exactly. Yeah. No, exactly.
You know,
because
okay, here's me standing on stage. Here's the open air in between the ears of my listeners, and why are there 25 layers in between that all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Who know?
Yeah. Right.
You know, so that way too, a lot of people own their own stuff. They're not looking for a record deal.
Yeah.
If you sell 25,000 copies of your CD or whatever your download album, or however they're gonna for $10, you're making more than if you sold 1 million for Warner Brothers.
Well, yeah, nobody makes money on records anymore anyway. I mean, it's
right, but you know what I mean.
The merch,
But if you know you can sell 10,000 albums, you're gonna make, you know,
it's gonna be those are kind of like turning into one kind of little thing, and then that's gonna even kind of, I don't know, but like the music that you and I and most people want to hear and listen to and go out to watch, you know, it's like all these record labels and all that. That's an old system and that's so outdated, and they've just been marketing it for so long. It's like they can't do it.
There's almost no reason to record a full-length album.
Yeah.
Well, like, I see the return of the EP in a big way. Like, okay, you know, 4 songs, we can squirt that out in a couple of days, long days in the studio, and we're done.
Yeah. I think it depends on, that's right, you know, and I think a lot of it depends on, again, the new, it's a wide open world, and I feel like some bands could probably do well with that. It depends on your niche and your marketing approach and how you've kind of built your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other bands, or other things, it's easier to, or it's just as good to have a whole album out or whatever. You know, it's so.
And also too, with certain musicians aging out of the touring, you have these huge fan bases that are left hanging.
Exactly.
Like, hey, those 5 bands were my guys, and now none of them are playing anymore.
Who are they going to find?
Right. You know, so they got to go.
Hopefully, they all find the Jason Wells band. That's why I'm ready to. You know, we got the get momentum, and we're come to the Jason Wells band. We'll take you in.
Absolutely.
We'll take you for a long time. We'll give you all the good music you want.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
But all right, so you have the Music Matters coming up August 5th. You have this weekend, July 2nd, you are in where again? I'm sorry. It's at the campground.
Four Winds Resort at Lake Monroe.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. In the Four Winds Resort.
Yeah.
That you go on 6 all ages 4th of July party on the lake.
Yeah.
That sounds like a friggin' blast.
Yeah. It's like they say it's the biggest party of the year. So,
right.
Nice.
And then you're playing fireworks and all kinds of stuff too.
Yeah. And then you're playing a private party. Then on 7/12/23, you'll be in Lafayette at Tees River Brewery. 7/22/23, you'll be at Lafayette at the Lafayette Blues Festival, and I'll see you there.
Yes, that's
and at the on
I got the 21st. Also, I'm doing a solo thing in Marion, Indiana, for an event that Marion's putting on downtown. So I'll be downtown Marion on the 21st, and then the 22nd there in Lafayette with the band at the Blues Fest.
Right.
So, yeah.
So if you're in driving distance of Indiana and you can get there to see the Jason Wells band, please do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, a good guy, but he plays even better. I'm looking so forward to seeing you live, man. I love your music.
It's gonna be awesome. You'll love it.
It's always fun. You know, you play with integrity, you live with integrity, and that's a good thing.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And if you ever make it near the Carolinas down here, holler at me, man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll get your ass on stage to MC on that side of the country.
Yeah. Hey, we need some venues for the Jason Wells band and then some venues for a camping festival called the Music Matters Festival. Have you heard of it?
Absolutely. You got
we'll
ideas.
Work it out, man.
Email at jasonwellsmusic.com. I think that's totally doable. There's enough. I mean, yeah. There's already a model in place for that. So
I like that idea a lot. Yeah.
So
we'll get her done. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on again. We appreciate it. Thanks for being a pod family member.
Yes.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks. And keep up the great work. Keep jamming. Say hi to your wife and your son for me. Jason, love you, brother.
Love you guys.
See you. And thanks for watching CreatiVity Talkin. And remember, music matters.
Hey.